Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Midweek Momentums, your No More Mondays hit of motivation to help you get through the middle of the week. And something is on my mind today, coming off of another live session I just did with a couple colleagues of mine. I hosted a session on LinkedIn Live about how to job search writer. And I had a couple people join me, and essentially it was just a sound off session to talk about everything that irritates us about job searching and where a lot of us kind of fall short. But something really interesting came up. My friend Diana Alt said something that she wishes people out there job searching would stop job searching like it's a job and stop, toiling away in unproductive activity. And that really got me thinking about that doesn't just happen in a job search. That happens in work and that happens in life, right? We've all heard it and we've all worn it. The busyness badge of honor. How many times have you walked up to somebody and said, "Hey, how are you?" Or somebody's walked up to you and said, "Hey, how are you?" "Oh my gosh, I'm so busy." We wear it like a badge. And recently on an episode of Midweek Momentum, I talked about rest. We actually had a full No More Mondays podcast episode with Cherie Sauer where we talked about the importance of rest and recovery in performance. And so quite literally, when we keep thinking about this, like overwork, overwhelm, everything is important, we're not giving ourselves room to rest and recover, for one. But even more importantly, I think that's where we're getting this level of overwhelm. And busyness isn't actually a badge of honor. In my opinion, it is a sign of misprioritization, because when everything is important, everything becomes important, and we have no ability to prioritize things into different buckets so that we can work through a decision matrix on what needs to have our attention versus everything having our attention, which it can really feel like in this world where information is infinite, tools abound. We have so many technologies that we're dealing with every day. I was just talking about this with some friends because, I'm building AI agents in N8N to automate things. And another friend is building a platform to help people track things. And we've got infinite drafts and infinite chat threads about our purpose and our products and like all of these different things. In case you didn't notice, I'm talking about myself. There's just endless ways to optimize and do. We literally could spend all day prompting and talking to ChatGPT, rewriting things, rewriting it. Even if you don't have ChatGPT, how many of you out there have ever rewritten a to-do list just to check things off of it, right? Researching information, reading the news, planning your next move instead of making the move, right? There is this idea that doing stuff is productive, but if we haven't actually stopped to think about the work that we're doing and the goal that we have for the work, we're just spinning and spinning and spinning. In the entrepreneurial world, we talk about working in your business versus on your business, because there's things in your business that feel productive, back end operations, making content. Eventually that stuff will work out, but sometimes we have to get out from behind that curtain and go out and work on our business, talk to people, do the things that are actually going to produce results, whether it's in business, whether it's in leading your team, whether it is in your job, right? Leading a team is a perfect example of a place where it's really easy to get caught up in busy work, strategy, meetings. When was the last time you went to a really productive meeting that wasn't with me? We mask output for the activity to generate the output, but miss the pivot point to actually make the move and use the thing. Intentional progress over masked productivity is the thing that I'm talking about here. And so if this is resonating a little bit, you're maybe a working mom out there who's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing all the things and I feel like I have to do all the things." Or you're a leader who just can't figure out what is important. I'm going to challenge you to kind of reframe things. And instead of what should I work on today? Or what do I need to work on today? Or even worse, what do I have to work on today? Ask yourself, what can I do today to move myself forward? What action can I take that would actually move the needle? That one question will help you look at your to-do list completely differently. It may even help you look at your life completely differently. Does the laundry actually need to be done today, or do you still have a clean pair of undies in the drawer? It's really, and now you're not going to forget that. You can't unhear that. I just said undies on a podcast. Who else has ever said that? But you're going to remember, you're smiling, and I've proved the point that is it actually essential or is it just important? There's actually a really cool tool out there. If you've never heard of the Eisenhower matrix, it's sometimes called the urgent and important matrix, for a very good reason. It is a way to put all the things you have to do or all the things you oversee into quadrants that are literally, this is essential and high impact versus this is low impact and I hate doing it. So it's a drain and it's useless. But a lot of times we don't take inventory of what we're doing in work or what we're doing in our teams or what we're doing even at home to figure out what quadrant it could be in, what we can outsource and delegate, and then therefore what is really urgent and essential to focus on. What is the action that is actually going to move you forward today? And if you've done your urgent and important matrix, you can actually look in that little top right quadrant and you can see this is the stuff that's actually going to move the needle. Years ago, in my very first business coaching experience, I had a coach who told me a story about Andrew Carnegie and Charles Schwab, which is near and dear to my heart as a Carnegie Mellon alum. And it goes something like Charles Schwab asked Andrew Carnegie, or maybe it was the reverse. I'm going to get the story wrong. But the point is, one of them asked the other for their number one tip on how to succeed in business. And one says to the other, write down the 6 most important things you need to do tomorrow, this evening, before you wrap up work. So you can even do a step better than what should I work on today, becoming what action would actually move me forward, and plan all that the evening before. So you come in, you sit down and you go, this is what I know I need in order to move myself forward and get momentum instead of on a hamster wheel of seemingly productive activity, right? Movement is not the same as making moves. And that is an important distinction to think about because busy is not the same as actually moving yourself forward. Activity is not necessarily productive if it's not really making you progress. And as humans, we want to move. We want to make progress. We want to make impact. And so if you've been struggling with feeling like you've got a huge to-do list, there's too many priorities, I'll challenge you to just sit down tonight and think about the 6 most important things that will actually move your business forward, actually move your team forward, actually make your business money, right? Whatever that goal is, think about the things that will move you forward to that goal and prioritize those and those only, because busy isn't progress. It's just doing some stuff. I'll see you next week for another Midweek Momentum.